Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another quick video here on the Super Bowl player prop specials. This is going to be kind of a quicker video, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just going to kind of hop in and give you guys probably my favorite player props that we're going to be looking at. We're also going to look quickly. We're going to start with the first game from the Chiefs and Bucks. This game was in Tampa Bay. I think this was like week 12 maybe. And of course, this was the game where Pat Mahomes, 462 yards, 3 touchdowns, all to Tyreek Hill, 13 receptions, 269 yards. And the 3 touchdowns. Kelsey 8 for 82 in that game. Nobody else really did anything. It was all about Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. Running game was kind of non-existent for the Chiefs. And again, Mahomes just lit it up. He was only sacked twice, 462 yards on 49 passing attempts. I don't think we're going to see that many passing attempts from Mahomes on this one. But you look at the Tom Brady side, 41 passing attempts. That kind of seems like if Tampa Bay, just the way this game's probably going to go, the Chiefs are again the favorites in this one. I think they're favored by 3 or 3.5 points. I do think Tom Brady's going to have to throw the ball if they're going to want to win, but I also think Tampa Bay needs to run the ball if they really want to win. So I think we're going to look forward to Tampa Bay trying to establish the run early, but I'm still into Tom Brady. You see 345 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and then the 2 interceptions. If Tampa Bay is going to win, they have to limit those Tom Brady turnovers. He was only sacked once in that game, so that was a pretty good pocket for him, 27 of 41. The running game, Ronald Jones popped off, 9 for 66. He had a 34-yard run there. And then the receiving numbers, Gronk, 6 for 106, Godwin, 8 for 97, and then Evans caught 3 for 50 in the 2 touchdowns, and Ronald Jones also caught a touchdown. So this was kind of back mid-season when Ronald Jones was kind of the clear lead back. I think Leonard Fournette's probably going to be the main snap guy in this one. So now that we got some history here, again, this game was fun. It was kind of a blowout in the first half, but Tampa Bay made a rally in the fourth quarter to make it interesting. So let's take a quick peek at this is the practice reports here for the Chiefs. They already ruled out Eric Fisher, offensive tackle, and Willie Gay, linebacker here. Darwin Thompson scratched. I don't know if he's hurt or not, if that's just a scratch, but the main guys we were watching were the running backs. They were Le'Veon Bell was limited Wednesday, Thursday, full practice Friday, full practice for Clyde. Everybody else was full practice here besides, of course, Darwin Thompson. And then the big one here is Sammy Watkins. He was limited Wednesday, Thursday, full practice on Friday, so that he's all good to go. And then let's just take a peek at the Tampa Bay side real quick before we get into the props. And Cameron Brate did not practice. This is interesting yesterday. He was limited Thursday, did not practice Friday. This is going to make me probably lean into Gronk just a little bit more. You also see Antonio Brown, limited Wednesday, full Thursday, Friday. So he's likely to play. I would say pretty much like 99% going to play. And then the only other injuries here that we really have to worry about is probably Pierre-Paul. With the did not practice on Wednesday, Friday, got a limited on Thursday, so maybe they're just being cautious with him. We'll watch that for the Tampa Bay pass rush. Of course, Vita Vea is going to be back another 2 weeks removed from his first game back against Green Bay. Ndamukong Suh just a day off here. So both teams are relatively healthy, and let's kind of just take a look here. Before we get into this, though, I just want to say player prop bets on thefantasyfellowship.com. I'll put a link in the description below. On the season, though, we're almost 60% right with our picks, 77 of 131. It wasn't a very good championship game weekend for us. We kind of got hit with some of those touchdowns. But I will say our touchdown props, though, we're almost 65% correct on our touchdown props. So that's been kind of where we've been making our money this year. But let's just look at this from a whole here. We're on DraftKings here. And what I'm going to do, I can't play on DraftKings. I'm in Wisconsin. So I usually use Bovada. But anyways, looking at this game real quick, let's just look at the game line. Tampa Bay +3, Kansas City -3. So I'm gonna kind of just break this down, just relatively easy. Like the sharp money should be on the Chiefs to cover 3. The Chiefs money line though at -162 might be my more favorite bet. It's not the best odds, but if you think the Chiefs are gonna win, this is probably where you're going with. If you think the Bucks can win, maybe you go with the point spread here of +3. You can also dive into the money line, but I think the point spread of +3 could be interesting. This game could come down to 1 or 2 points at the end there. And Tom Brady Super Bowls, man, they're always, one score games, except for that last one against the Rams, where I think it was a 10-point win. But anyways, you can look at DraftKings. They got novelty props if you want to do the coin toss, if you want to do Gatorade, first play. First play is kind of interesting. You can do runner pass, offensive scrimmage play, runner pass again. So a lot of interesting Fat Man TD, you can see offensive lineman or defensive lineman kind of stuff. There's a Doink special, so kind of check those out. Those are kind of fun. I usually stay away from those. But again, this is where we've been making our money, and it's definitely these player props touchdown bets. I think that this is probably our favorite spot to hit on, and I'm trying to get that thing to be removed here. I don't know why it's popping up in my spot. Let me just refresh real quick. But Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, obviously the two favorites on the Chiefs side to score touchdowns, and that's making me mad here. Why can't I? Let me just. There we go. So on Bovada, I saw these guys were both minus 200 to score. So if you just want to be safe, take the Kelce touchdown, take the Hill touchdown, minus 162. Again, if you throw $20 at that, you'll probably end up winning $12.40. So it's not a terrible bet. I do like Kelce and Tyreek Hill to score. Now, again, looking back at this Chiefs-Bucks game from earlier in the year, Mike Evans caught 2 touchdowns. And he's got some plus 100 odds. So we've talked about the Buccaneers having to probably run the ball and probably have more passing attempts than the Chiefs in this one if they're coming from behind. But my friend Jesse, who I usually record these videos with, he did say that he likes the Leonard Fournette touchdown. Fournette scored, I think, in 3 straight games. He's also been over 50 yards rushing in 3 straight games. And the Chiefs, you can run on the Chiefs. So if you want to bet on a Buccaneer touchdown, it might be a good idea to go with Leonard Fournette. Otherwise, I think if you're just betting Tampa Bay touchdowns, like it's probably Evans or Godwin, one of those two. I would probably go with the Mike Evans one. So I'm just going to click on Evans for now. And then as far as touchdowns, like the rest of the guys feel a little bit spotty. I think I'm just going to be more concise and just tell you to take the top guys. Anyone in these top 5 spots. Kelce, Hill, Evans, Fournette, those are probably my favorites to score touchdowns in this one. And then the other bets that I've been looking at here, of course, we can just take a peek at the player props for the quarterbacks. The yards, Tom Brady. If you want to take a yards, I'm taking Tom Brady over yards, 295.5. I think that's the one that I'm going to like. I think Mahomes is like he's going to be good. He's going to be really good, but I'd rather take his touchdowns. So if you want to play a quarterback prop, I think Tom Brady over 295.5. You can also kind of get into all of these. So the touchdown passes, like I said. Oh man, they boosted these guys up pretty big. But I think Mahomes at 2.5 here. I think he can score 3. I don't really think that the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball very well at all. And at minus 155, Mahomes at 2.5. I do like that. We've kind of already talked about Fournette with Tom Brady. So I think the threat of a rushing touchdown for Tampa Bay is more real than a Mahomes getting stolen from Clyde Edwards or Le'Veon Bell or whatever. So Mahomes, 2.5 passing touchdowns. That one seems kind of fun. But then this is where we make our best bets, I think. The player props with the running back, wide receiver, and the tight ends. For rushing, I don't really love any of these numbers. If you had to take one rushing over, it's going to be Leonard Fournette at 48.5. He's going to be the primary back, I think. I do think Ronald Jones could pop off. He was pretty good against these guys earlier in the year. But if you're taking one running back to hit his rushing overs, it's probably Leonard Fournette. And then for receiving overs, I do think Rob Gronkowski at 29.5, that seems ridiculously low. He had 6 for 106 earlier this year, and it's Rob Gronkowski in the Super Bowl. So that's probably going to be one of my favorite bets to track. Mike Evans at 63.5. I'd rather take his touchdown than his yards. I do think with Chris Godwin, I'd rather take his yards than his touchdown. 77.5. We did see earlier in that game, he did have 8 for 97. So Godwin yards, that intrigues me at plus 100. Kelce, I mean, you could fall into the Kelce yards, 97.5. You could fall into the Tyreek Hill yards, 95.5. Those are probably the 2 favorites that I would do. So if you're taking yards, it's obviously Evans and Godwin that you would consider. I would lean Godwin. If you're taking Kansas City players, like Kelce, Hill, you could take either one of those. I think both guys are solid odds. I'd probably take the Kelce one just because I think the attention for Tyreek Hill is going to be pretty loud. And then Mecole Hardman, I think he's the guy to kind of keep an eye on, but we'll look at that in a second here. And then I think I'm taking Gronk over 29.5. We saw Cameron Brate did not practice yesterday, so that's something to keep an eye on. For rushing and receiving, I don't love any of these numbers. Rushing attempts, again, I don't love any of these numbers. Receptions, this was the category that I like the best. I think Mecole Hardman's going to catch more than 3 passes in this game. So at plus 107, I'm taking Mecole Hardman. He did catch 3 for 23 back in this game, 5 targets. He was a little bit more involved last week. Again, Sammy Watkins was out. He's playing this week. But I just think they're going to try to find ways to get Mecole Hardman the ball quickly. And as far as other reception overs, Chris Godwin at 5.5, minus 125. We're going to take that. He had 8 catches back in week 12. Kelce, that he's high at 8.5. I think he's probably going to settle somewhere in that 7 to 9 range. And you got Tyreek Hill at 7.5. I think I'd rather just put my money into the Godwin side, and then probably Mecole Hardman. I think he's going to be a player that gets a lot of run in this game, and they try to find quick ways to get him the ball, maybe ways that Tampa Bay hasn't seen or planned for yet. And then Rob Gronkowski, I think that's the guy right here. He only needs 3 catches to hit his over, 2.5. So I'm doubling down on Gronkowski to basically hit 3 for 30. If he hits 3 for 30, we hit both of those props. So those are probably my 2 favorite player prop bets. And then I'm just kind of looking around for any other player props that might interest me. I mean, you could get into some defensive and some kicker prop bets, but that's really not for me. You can set up some parlays. Super Bowl MVP, of course, Patrick Mahomes is probably the favorite. It's -106, so it's not the worst. But if Kansas City wins, we know it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes, unless you get one of those monster Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill games. And then I'm just looking for game props, Kansas City first touchdown, things like that. I do think the one bet that I want to call out, I don't know where to find it, but I would assume that the first pass of the game is going to be a completion. And I don't know where you can find that. But if you're interested in those kind of, I don't know if that's a novelty prop or where to find it, but I would assume that the first pass of the game is going to be a completion. So I don't know. I got 9 bets on the slip. I'm going to upload these to the website. Again, I'll have that link in the description below. But that's pretty much, I just wanted to kind of hop on and just give some thoughts on these player prop bets. I know they've been kind of beaten up throughout the week, and probably the last, even before that, these props have been listed for almost 2 weeks now. But I don't know. I just want to say enjoy this game. I think it's gonna be a fun Super Bowl. A lot of scoring, a lot of passing, hopefully. And I don't know. I just want to advise caution as well. Even though I put all these prop bets on the website, I think you need to do what you feel is correct. I have a certain narrative and way of thinking about things. And I don't know, if you watch this video, like certain things that I said probably made sense to you. Certain things probably weren't making sense. But just go with your gut, trust what you think is right, and I don't know, good luck. That's all I want to say. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I don't know, we'll see you guys in another video. Peace.